Hi, Blossom here. So today I'm going to show you an eggless chocolate cake recipe. Last I'd shared with you a vanilla cake recipe which was eggless. This one is easier than the vanilla cake recipe because it's just in one bowl. You dump everything in one bowl and mix it all in and the recipe is ready. Let's begin. So in this bowl I've taken 1.5 cups of flour, just normal all-purpose flour. So to this I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. There's no baking powder required here. 1 teaspoon of coffee. You can always omit this coffee powder, but if you want a richer chocolate cake taste, then I would suggest you to add coffee powder. I actually sieved this flour and kept already just in case there are any lumps. And to that I'm going to add cocoa powder, 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. I'm mixing it. I sieved the cocoa powder separately, the flour separately, just because I'm recording this for you guys. But if you're doing it at home, you just sieve it all together after measuring it. And to this I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar. If your sugar is not caster sugar, you should always powder the sugar first and then measure 1 cup and put it into this mixture. You don't have to buy special caster sugar for it because caster sugar is a little expensive, I know, in certain places. And the last dry ingredient is salt. This is just 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mix it all well. To this dry mixture I'm going to add 1 cup of water and 1/3 cup of oil. Stir it well. You don't have to be very gentle with this. This is a very easy recipe, but always don't mix it too much because then gluten will form and then it'll become like a bread. So it's always better to mix it with a light hand. It should become a nice flowy batter. Till then you just mix it all together. It comes together very easily. And lastly, add a teaspoon of vanilla essence. Now vanilla essence also, it's not required. Some people don't even add because cocoa powder is flavorful enough, but I do this by force of habit. So I added 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence, and there goes my preheated oven. Please remember to preheat your oven before you could start the mixing process for 10 minutes, because by the time you do all the prep work and mixing, the oven will be preheated. The batter consistency will be a little flowy. It's a little watery batter. It's not a very thick batter. Now I've taken 2 7-inch cake tins. You can always bake it in a 6-inch cake tin and you'll get a taller cake. So now I'm pouring it into the tins. I'm halving the batter. So I put the cakes into a preheated oven for 15 minutes. So I put it for 170 degrees because mine is a convection oven. If you have a normal oven, you should put it for 180 degrees Celsius. And if you're putting it in a 6-inch tin, you have to cook it for a longer time. So accordingly, you need to adjust the baking time. You should not open the oven before 20 minutes if you're putting it into a 6-inch tin. The first 20 minutes is very crucial when you're baking a taller cake. Otherwise it'll just fall off. It'll get deflated. The cakes are ready. I've put the skewer into it and see, it's clean. So the cakes are ready. I let it cool in the tin for 5 minutes and then take it out of the tin and cool it on a cooling rack, and then I'll ice it accordingly. So I'm actually in the middle of icing the cake, and this cake is so soft that it's kind of crumbly, so be very careful when you handle this cake. I'm icing this cake and then I'll show you how it is. It's actually very, very soft. So this is the cake that I made with what I showed you, the same cake recipe. I decorated it. That's it. Please do try this recipe. Let me know how it turned out. And if you want to learn how to ice cakes, please do let me know as well in the comments below. Until next time, bye.